What a hit!
Welcome to Across the Pond Review, where we review anything and everything about the Premier League. I'm your co-host, Owen G, and to the left of me, one of my best mates, Lewis. Lewis, how you doing tonight?
Doing okay. Picked up a little injury at training this past week and little nick. Nothing too serious, but the show goes on, right?
As they say, the show must go on. So then we got to start talking about the great international fixtures that happened throughout last week. And we have to start off with the big one, the one that shocked us, and I think our fans the most. Spain versus Argentina. Spain 6, Argentina 1. What were your thoughts about this match?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with Argentina. That team without Messi looks like they're falling apart.
Yeah, they look like a Sunday League team without Messi, I'll tell you that.
It was
garbage, complete garbage from Argentina.
Horrendous. Defensively, I don't know, did the defense even play?
No, bad. First of all, Marcos Rojo is terrible. It's a surprise that he plays for Manchester United. It's an even more bigger surprise that he actually gets called up to the Argentine national team.
I mean, I don't think Marco Rojos is a bad defender. I think he's put in decent performances for Argentina before. It just wasn't Argentina's day as a whole.
You know my take on Marcos Rojo real quick? Before the World Cup, he was at Sporting Lisbon. I think he just should have stayed there. He's not of higher quality than that. But moving to the front line, we saw Higuain missed a sitter again. You know what I'm thinking? When we saw him for Real Madrid, le pesaba la playera. The shirt was too heavy. And when he plays for Argentina, we've seen it on a number of occasions. During the World Cup, during the Copa America, the Argentine shirt is just too much for him. He cannot wear it. He cracks under pressure.
I don't understand how a man who has cost Argentina how many finals now? 2, 3?
2 or 3, yeah.
2 or 3 finals in big international tournaments, costing your country the magnitude that is an international title, especially for a country like Argentina. It's I don't know how he's still in the squad.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of respect, a lot of faith for him.
It's shocking because you know what I think? When I see him miss that, I'm thinking about to myself, you know who would have scored that? Mauricio Icardi. You know who would have scored that? Paulo Dybala. But where are they? Where are they? They're at home. They're watching from home because Sampaoli just decides not to pick some of the best attacking players in the world. It's a disgrace. When Messi's not there, you're gonna have to have somebody like Dybala or like an Icardi who can pick up the slack. And we saw that Higuain can't do it, and a bunch of those other guys, they can't do it.
No, in the midfield, they were non-existent as well. I feel like just as a whole, it just wasn't good enough. Otamendi got the goal of honor. He at least put one on the board for them.
Yeah.
But it was just, I feel like it was embarrassing, ridiculous, and
didn't make too much of a difference that they scored.
If I were an Argentinian fan or Argentinian for that matter, I would be disgraced of my country after that performance.
Yeah, I agree with that. But on the other side, you see Spain, who have a brilliant team, and Isco Disco making those Argentine players dance and fall. Man, he had a great game. A hat-trick for Isco, and we saw them from the back all the way to the front perform perfectly.
No, they did. As a whole, Spain has a very complete squad. I would say they even have world-class players on their bench.
Yeah, Azpilicueta, one of the best defenders in the Premier League, and he's coming on.
Exactly. Yeah, he's phenomenal. He's coming in off the bench. Their midfield is stacked. You've got Isco, Thiago. You also have Asensio, Lucas Vazquez,
Saúl, Diego Costa. I mean, Iniesta's still there.
Iniesta played brilliantly.
Yeah, this Spain team is reminiscent of that 2008-2010 period. I know that they played poorly in the last World Cup, but I think it's time for redemption. We'll have to see how far they go, but they're gonna go far in this World Cup, I believe, without a shadow of a doubt. I believe that. And now, you know, we're a Premier League show, so we got to talk about our English lads. Okay. England, they played Holland, and then they played Italy. You know, Jordan Pickford started against Holland. Jack Butland started against Italy. What was your take on the Nick Pope situation. You know, we're big fans of Nick Pope. Sadly, he got called up. I mean, gratefully, he got called up to the national team. Sadly, he didn't get a minute of playing time. What do you think about that?
I think it was a little unfair. He should have gotten at least a half. I think we touched upon the term before the show. But, I mean, England versus Holland, tight game. Van Dijk, named captain of Holland.
Yep.
A lot of his teammates played against him.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool player. Just to shout that out there.
Well, I mean, finally, right? They're doing something well in the transfer market, picking up good people. And Jesse Lingard had a great goal. You know, like I mentioned before, a couple weeks back, I told you that he could be in my starting 11 for England at Russia, and he's proven that he could be in that position.
No, I would say he's definitely making a stake to be in that starting 11 at Russia. A lot of interesting performances for England over the weekend, though. I thought Sterling was phenomenal.
Sterling was phenomenal against Italy as well.
I think Jamie Vardy actually is making a claim that he should be on the plane to Russia as well.
He had a great goal against Italy. Donnarumma, arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now, and he had no chance against that, and it was to his near post. So that's just shows how difficult that shot was and how good of a shot it was, because there was no way Donnarumma was getting to that.
Defensively, a couple of shaky moments for England, I feel like. But in a mostly young side, I was surprised at how composed and how good they were on the international stage.
Yeah, I was very impressed by England as well in both games. I think against Italy, they played the wing backs, and I'm not sure if that's something that they want to do moving forward. It wasn't very convincing to me. But like you said, they played well. So these friendlies, hopefully they can get more and more. They can get better equipped with each other.
I'd like to see England do well in a World Cup. I think it's due time.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully Harry Kane comes back, and we'll be able to move from there. And hopefully they'll make it to a semifinal or a final. And just to touch on a note for Holland, I think it's important to note that Patrick Kluivert's son, 18-year-old Justin, actually made his debut for Holland.
Good for him.
Patrick was
a very talented player at Ajax.
But yeah, Patrick was 18 when he debuted for Holland, and now his son, Justin, 18 as well. So football just runs in that family. Now going on to another team where football doesn't just run in a family, it runs through the entire country. Germany versus Brazil. You know, Germany, reigning world champions, welcomed Brazil into their home stadium, and they lost 1-0. What did you think about that?
I mean, tight game again. Who scored the winning goal?
Gabriel Jesus.
Jesus,
right? On an error by Kevin Trapp. To be fair, that shot was hit right at him, and he parried it in a way.
He did have a couple chances this game, though, so I'm not surprised he pulled one away. He should, though, getting that many chances.
Yeah.
I think, for me, Firmino should be Brazil's starting number 9.
Of course, you're a Liverpool fan. You're a Liverpool fanboy, so you're going to say that. Gabriel Jesus has been playing brilliantly for Manchester City.
I mean, I don't know. Personally, I like Firmino more. I think
I think that Gabriel Jesus fits into their fast-paced system more than Bobby does, though.
I agree with that, but Bobby has proven that he offers more than just that typical number 9 finisher role.
Okay.
He's great with link-up play, and he knows how to play in that high-press system, which I'm sure Brazil is going to want to use at the World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, their team without Neymar, you see the difference between when a team doesn't have their great player in Argentina, and even with Brazil, not having their best player, but still getting the job done against reigning world champions Germany. Is Germany in a crisis? I wouldn't say so. I think before last World Cup, they tied Sweden 3-3, and it was kind of like a wake-up call, and it was a wake-up call for these guys too. They didn't have their starting 11 on the field. Like I said, Kevin Trapp was at error for the goal. Yeah. They have a ton of people to pick from, and I think Jogi Löw was just trying everybody out. So Germany's okay. I think when it comes to the World Cup, they're still going to be there. They're going to be in either the semifinal or the final.
My thing is if this is Germany's B squad playing against Brazil's A squad, arguably, and they still lose 1-0 and could have scored.
Yeah, they had a lot of chances.
They did have a lot of chances. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's insane. It just goes to show you what investing in their youth has done for them. They have so many good players and so many young players. It's going to be
another one
German
of those
domination.
Teams who has world-class in basically every position.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Moving on.
Moving on to one that kind of shocked me, but it wasn't as bad as the Argentina versus Spain. Colombia beats France. And France started off brilliantly. Colombia beat them 3-2, but like I said, France started off well. They were playing perfectly as a team. That Lamar goal was some of the best team build-up play that I've seen in a long, long, long time. And for me, it wasn't the fact that Colombia was superior to France or that they played better. It was just that for me that France sat back. They were comfortable in a 2-0 lead, and just Colombia caught them sleeping, and then they got the PK at the end, and that's how they won. I don't think Colombia, don't get me wrong, Colombia's got a great team, and they're going to be up there challenging for the World Cup, but I can't really take too much away from them here. You know, France was kind of sleeping, and I think that's why they were able to get the victory.
I mean, to a certain extent, I do give Colombia credit because they stayed in the game.
Yeah, fully deserved, fully deserved.
I think France did take a little bit off the gas pedal. Maybe the changes in the second half threw off the rhythm.
Yeah, that happens a lot. We see that.
You'll see that in friendlies, especially just because the coach wants to try other players in different positions or wants to see how this player will perform versus the other player who came off.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. But we're talking about France, and it's a big name country. It's a big European power. They should be in at least the Final Four with the team they have on paper. But I feel that, I don't know, something's missing.
Yeah, I agree.
It kind of that performance kind of reminded me of the France we saw in past World Cups where they get knocked out of group stages, or the past European Championships where they just fell apart.
Yeah, they just when they need to win, when they need their players to step up in those big moments, they just don't have them. And you know, one of my best friends, Juan Suarez, he texted me right after the Colombia game. He's Colombian, and he texted me, "Francia no me convence," which translates to "France doesn't convince me." And it's true. You know, they have a great squad on paper. They have great players, some of the best players in the world, and yet as a team, like I said, they showed signs of great build-up play. But they let a 2-0 lead go and lost. So we'll have to see how France does in the World Cup. For me, I think they're going to get out of the group stage. They've got Peru in that, and they've got a couple more teams, obviously. But I think they're going to be able to get out. They got Denmark as well, so they'll probably win those 2 games and then move forward. But now it's time for us to move forward, and it's time for us to do our predictions because the Premier League is back. What we love talking about the most, the Premier League. And the game that we have to start off with, Chelsea versus Tottenham on Sunday, Easter Sunday. My boys in blue, welcome to Stamford Bridge.
Okay.
Spurs. What's your take on that? Prediction-wise.
I'm sorry to go against you, mate, but...
he does this on purpose. He does this on purpose just to get under my skin.
Tottenham will take this one 2-1.
Bro, come on. I understand that Courtois is not playing, but you also have to understand that Harry Kane isn't playing. So if Harry Kane isn't going to play, who's going to provide the goals for Tottenham? They're not going to have any goals. Who's Son going to provide the goals? No way, he's out. Why? Who's going to
save the goals?
Yeah.
The guy who just received 6 from Spain?
Yeah, but please do never compare our defense to that Argentine defense. Don't ever compare Rudiger, Christensen, Azpilicueta to Marcos Rojo. Marcos Rojo, he's a plumber. He's garbage. But like I said, no. Willy Caballero, when he's played with us, he's played solidly. So I'm not even blaming him for all those goals against Argentina.
I think it's going to be a tight game, but my money's on Tottenham.
No, I got Chelsea winning 2-0. We're going to get that clean sheet. Now moving on. Your boys, the Merseyside boys, the Reds from Merseyside. Liverpool go to Selhurst Park and they play Crystal Palace. You know, Crystal Palace is tough to go against. It's tough to play at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. You know, a couple years ago when Gerrard slipped, the next game you guys went to Crystal Palace and tied 3-3.
I'm not gonna lie, Crystal Palace is a tough team to play against, especially for Liverpool, especially the past couple years.
Bad dreams have been going on in Selhurst Park.
Hey, what? It happens, but I have faith in my Reds. Everybody's in form. We have a healthy, fit squad. Even Lallana got some minutes for England.
Played well.
He's going to be back in the lineup, hopefully. I'm feeling good about this one. I think Liverpool takes it 3-0.
Oh, wow. No, I'm on the opposite side. I think Crystal Palace...
We have the most informed forward striker in the world right now. Mo Salah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say Firmino for a second. Okay. No, I can't argue with that. Mo Salah is class, and you know where you learned all that stuff? At Chelsea. But
before Mourinho told
yeah,
him
well,
to
that's
pack
Mourinho.
his bags,
That's Mourinho.
along with Kevin De Bruyne.
That's my.
Oh man.
My theory is that Mourinho sabotaged us.
Bro.
Mourinho sabotaged us. But that's a conversation for another day.
Okay.
I got Crystal Palace winning 2-1. Now moving on, Liverpool versus Manchester City. Like I said, like I just said, they're looking unbeatable. I'm going City 2, Liverpool 0.
We're gonna high press them. We're the only team right now who has beat Man City before. We know their weaknesses. I think we're gonna try and play the same type of game. That front three is on fire. As long as we have a healthy, fit squad for this tie, I think Liverpool takes it at Anfield 2-1.
No. I'm telling you, City are gonna go through.
I can't wait for this game too.
Yeah, I can't either. I can't wait to see you guys. You guys are gonna be embarrassed. As soon as you guys singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," boom, that's when they're gonna score, and it's gonna be the end of that.
All right, we'll see about that one.
Madrid versus Juventus. We know that this has been tight before. Juve lost in the final last year, and now Juve did beat them a couple years ago in a semifinal. So what are your takes on this one? Real Madrid versus Juventus. You know, I got it being a tight, close match, but I do have Real Madrid going through. So I'm going to give them 1-0 victory.
I think Real Madrid wins it 2-0. Ronaldo did it last year against Bayern when nobody thought he could. Ronaldo did it in the final when nobody thought he would score on Juve's defense.
Yeah.
And also, Madrid in Champions League, it seems like it's their competition.
It is their competition. They just can't lose, right?
Well,
they cannot lose.
I wouldn't bet against them in this game, so.
You have Real Madrid winning.
I have Real Madrid winning 2-0.
Sounds good. Well, that's all the time we have for today. You're going to have to watch next week to see the results of our predictions. Thank you for watching, and we hope to catch you next week.
Have a good one, guys.